With pleasure. Your spouse is a vegan and you've just bought a dog. Do you buy meat for your dog or do you buy the vegan food? Interesting question. Or do you just change your partner? I'm just kidding.
Good one. So let's start with. I don't know why you're laughing, Ali. You saw this question a few minutes ago. um,
I know, I just thought it was appropriate for the moment.
all right. So let
A
me go
good
to.
chuckle's always good.
Oh, absolutely. Ennislave 11. Feel free to share your thoughts, ideas, speak or pass based on this social
Uh,
dilemma.
so should I just answer the question on what my thoughts were?
Yes.
Okay. So I would buy meat for my dog because I think dogs, because they're supposed to eat meat, like it's a part of their diet.
And you leave the spouse.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Let's go to Sebex, who's next in line. Megaphone is yours. Sebex? I think Sebex is having a problem with the microphone. All right, we'll get back to you. Who's next, Ali? Can't see. Lemon Tech. Megaphone is
Yes, lemon tea.
yours.
Yeah, so I grew up in Asia and we had a lot of dogs and we would always feed them the same food that we would prepare as meals. They do avoid the rice usually and they go for the meats. But also sometimes when it gets too costly, we actually do prepare their own dish as well. Usually chicken neck or chicken feet cooked in soy vinegar and garlic. Um, yeah, so I think definitely it's part of. I think yeah, the spouse would have gotten the wrong pet to begin with. But I think dogs do deserve good food as well. And I think like the dog pellets, if you guys have ever smelled that, oh my God, it smells like crap. I know a friend who has tasted that, but I would not feed that to a dog. And I do feel like just feeding them the same thing over and over is just as you would feel if you were only eating the same thing for the rest of your life. It's torture. So I'll leave it
I
at
feel
that.
like I feel like your
Thank
everybody's
you.
spouses will handle it very well. I feel like I should have worded it as this is your ultimatum. It's either you keep the dog and feed the meat, or you keep the dog or you feed them vegan food, and you keep me. So I feel like that should have been the real question, you know?
Uh, Spicing things up a bit.
Yeah.
Coming back to the pellets, depending on the quality, some of them do smell really bad. Some of them are okay. There are different varieties, different flavors for the dogs, and there is a lot of dog food anyway, but that's off topic.
No, but
Just wanted to
it
add
smells
that.
bad for humans. Like,
Yes.
coffee. Coffee to
Yeah.
humans smell amazing, but to cats it smell like shit. So they will literally go to the bathroom just by the smell of coffee.
Okay, cool.
So yeah.
Right, okay.
Jessica, let's move to you. I wish this participation was in alphabetical order. I don't know how they found this order. Okay, Jessica.
Hi. So, I suppose this boils down to sort of the question for me, as I interpret it, whether it's rational to impart one's own sense of morality onto the eating habits of others. Um, and that's twofold in this scenario. One, is it rational to adopt the vegans' sense of ideology and force that upon myself and the dog, and then my own personal perspective of whether or not I believe the dog should be eating meat or not, and enforcing that upon the dog. So So I don't know too much about like the normal diet of a dog. I don't have a dog, but I'm assuming they're carnivores and that they eat meat. So I would probably continue to feed the dog meat unless there were a suitable substitution that was healthy for the animal. But yeah, I think this is a question of whether or not it's reasonable to 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 accept the beliefs of other people and then change our diets based upon that.
Right.
That's it.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you, Jessica.
Thank you for that.
Who do we have next, Ali?
Casper1234.
Thank you.
Tell us your opinion.
All
What
right.
would you do?
Let me just find. Okay, Casper going in. Megaphone is yours if you would like. Speak or pass.
Hi there, can you hear me?
Absolutely.
Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Yeah. I would, if the option is either to feed the dog meat or lose the girlfriend, I think I would have to take the dog back. Because I don't think I think if the dog's naturally going to eat meat, then I think it's unfair for me to put my sort of moral opinions on the dog.
Sorry, just
That's
to
what I
add,
think.
the question is, do you buy meat for your dog or do you buy the big vegan food?
Would I buy the vegan food? I would have to find out if it's gonna be detrimental to the dog in any way, the vegan food. If it is, then I would be buying the meat, and the girlfriend would have to, decide if she wants the dog or not. Because if she doesn't want the dog, then it's not gonna work anyhow.
You both
If
don't.
I'm the only
You
one that
both
wants
don't
the
want the
dog,
dog.
It's gonna cause problems,
You,
right?
you just have a dog for the sake of having a dog. Yeah. Okay.
Right? Because
Vicky.
if I want a dog and she doesn't, then yeah.
Thanks, Casper. Vicky, I'll
Thank
give you
you.
the megaphone shortly. All right. Megaphone is yours. Welcome to the social dilemma.
Hi.
Hi.
So we're talking about a real live dog, not like a stuffed dog or something. Is that right?
Oh yeah, I think
A
yeah.
real
Is that
dog
right?
on
A
four
real
legs
dog.
that barks and wags its tail.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's what I would do. So my spouse is a vegan, so I'd feed the vegan food in front of my spouse, but when he's not looking, I would feed the dog the meat. But knowing my spouse, he'd probably be on to me and he'd probably buy something that looks like meat and that really isn't meat. So I'd be feeding the dog vegan food ultimately and thinking I'm feeding him meat.
All right. Good thinking. This dog will be getting the best of both worlds then. All
There
right.
you go.
Let's go to Wheezy Babs. Just 1 second.
Sorry.
Wheezy Babs.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Hello. Hi. Okay, so if my spouse is a vegan and you've just bought a dog, well, veganism is something that I can't impose on another creature in the world. So I agree that it might be ethically good for humans to be vegan, since that we can make our own decisions and choose a diet which is best for the environment or best for our, ethical opinions. But for a dog, it's it's domesticated by humankind. That's true. Maybe I could give it vegetarian food as a compromise. It can still have, I don't know, do dogs eat animal subproducts? Do they eat cheese? Do they eat eggs? They don't, do they? Okay, they need meat. I think the dog would have to have ethically sourced meat from some kind of a farm where the animals are treated well, or they are going to die from other causes. I still would have to respect the human decision to be vegan, and it would be, inappropriate to keep a dog if you can't give it the diet that it requires. but you would have to still, yeah, feed it appropriately, and the appropriate food for a dog is meat. You can't say the same about humans. They may have evolved to eat meat. They may have got their big brains from their guts from eating meat, but now meat is not necessary for us both. So,
Great.
yeah.
Thank you very much. Dr. Sam. Just 1 second. Yes.
Timon, I think there were some exceptionally good arguments put forward by Casper, Jessica, Wheezy with this topic. I mean, this topic probably probably could happen in real life. It is avoidable. I mean, the spouse going out and buying a dog, understanding the domestic situation, of course, would be totally irresponsible and inconsiderate. But if I was forced into this situation, I would continue giving the dog meat. And the reason, like everybody else pointed out, the dog is a carnivore. And I don't believe that the dog should be a victim of another person's choices. And that would be my stand on the situation.
Great. That's excellent. To those who've just joined, because I see there's 6 more people in the room. Sorry, Dr. Sam, I need to mute you. For those who've just joined, feel free to raise your hands or pop up onto the couch if you'd like to say something. The social dilemma is basically where we give out a scenario and then you provide your thoughts, ideas, and answers. Simple as that, so you haven't missed out anything. So then we have John, who's on the couch, I see. And you're welcome to say something, speak or pass. Megaphone is yours.
Hey.
Hey.
What's up? What's up? I think I'm just gonna spectate until I get a feel for the direction of the conversation.
Fair enough.
Sure.
Okay, no
Sure,
problem.
why not? Well, we've actually reached the end of the table. So if for those who haven't spoken, just raise your hands because we do have some time. Nara01, megaphone is yours.
Hello,
Hi.
I am a vegan. So if that's the question we're going by, I just got here. And, our bodies are made different than dogs. And so for us to be healthy and to eat vegan is for our body. But dogs need to have their meat and to eat right. So there would be very wrong to make a dog eat just vegan food. My opinion.
Very nice. Thank you.
Thank you. We really appreciate that.
Yes, absolutely. I think it's the first vegan we've had in the house the whole time, and we've had about 30 people so far. And if there is another vegan, let me know. Raise your hand. 33 Paula, you have the microphone if you would like to speak or pass on what you would do. Would you buy meat or vegan food for your dog?
I agree with her. I mean, because the dog loves meat, and it's just because you're a vegetarian, don't make anything wrong with him. So that would be mean not to give him meat. Because most dogs love meat. They eat dry food, but they love canned food.
Oh, yeah. KFC.
Yeah.
Let's go to Tim. Welcome, Tim. Megaphone is yours.
Oh, hi. I just came into the room and I'm just not really familiar with the conversation yet.
So this is it. The situation is your spouse is a vegan and you've just bought a dog. Do you buy meat for your dog or do you buy vegan food? And we've already gone it around the table and now we're just listening to others who have just popped in.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Well, that sounds like most people, well, at least the last couple I've heard, think that, a dog should be given the food that it was evolved to eat, which would include the flesh of other animals. So I would support that.
All right. Great. Thank you.
Thank you for that.
We then have PFC Towns. Megaphone is yours. Speak or pass. Well, you did raise your hand.
Hello?
Hi.
Yes. So I do a caveat off of what he said as well. It's put into a certain category. I mean, they're carnivores, you know. So for us taking in a specific animal, I think we're accepting the true entity of it. As you know, humans, we're omnivores, so we do both. So that's just my personal opinion. If you're taking on a specific animal, you should stay true to its core values.
Awesome. Thank you. Ocuman.
Yeah, very interesting because I feel like we're all just assuming that all pet dogs are just gonna, be eating raw meat and just meat. But any dog that I've had has always been given dry food. And yes, meat might be an ingredient in that food, but I don't see why a vegan would have a problem with, I guess maybe if, you're feeding a raw T-bone steak to the dog in front of her, that might be one thing. But giving a dog dry kibble that happens to have maybe meat-based ingredients in it, I wouldn't see too much of an issue with that.
Interesting perspective. Thank you. Ali, believe it or not, it's your turn, my beautiful co-host.
Thank you. I would have to agree with the majority in the room. If somebody decides to be vegan, it's purely their choice. I don't think the dog should have to eat vegan as well, as it is a carnivore. Yeah, that's pretty much my opinion. I think I would definitely feed that dog what it's supposed to be eating and let it enjoy its meat and have fun. And I would definitely sit and discuss it with my spouse if they had a problem and try reach some kind of conclusion and understanding. Maybe teach them something, or because maybe they're not clued up enough. And what would you do, Mr. Tim?
What would I do? Well, first thing, before I would get into a kerfuffle with my spouse, what I would do is I would do all the research that I can to see what type of vegan food there is, to see if there's anything that has protein for animals that is equivalent to what a dog would eat with meat. As someone said here about the pellet food, makes complete sense, and I'm sure there's other types of food by now that are created for animals. And then I guess I would discuss it with her, and we would talk about the options. And if I find that the research is that the dogs are more unhealthy, they get thinner, because at the end of the day, I don't know. So I want to find out if dogs have lived a full life, if they're healthy and they can live off vegan food. So I think the discussion is more important. You believe
Definitely.
not?
Yeah, I believe it would be very hard for a dog to adapt to vegan. I have seen some cases, and unfortunately the dogs just get thinner. But maybe not enough, there isn't enough research and enough sources of food or information about it
I don't think they're spending enough
to
money
come
on
to
their
a
dogs.
certain
I think they're finding the
Exactly.
cheapest form of nutrition. And if you're going to have food for a dog and give them vegan food, you can't just buy shit quality food. You got to buy good stuff, know that there's protein inside, and do whatever you can, because this is your spouse you're talking about, somebody that you're married. You should know by now. All right. So I see Nara has raised her hand. This is the discussion part. So if you have anything to say based on what we've said, let us know. Nara.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. To go a little further in the part about the vegan, I don't know if it's okay for me to say that I'm a Christian. Is that okay?
Of course.
Feel
there is no God door in this taverna.
Okay, so because I believe in what the Bible says, in the beginning, when God made the animals, they did eat the way, the vegetables, the fruits, the grains, and the things that, were made because there was no death on the earth. And we have to remember, because of sin, things changed, and death did become a part of life on this earth. And the animals were not able to get the kinds of food that it needed because things had changed so drastically. So it was allowed for animals to eat the meat, and people were allowed to eat meat at that point too. So, people need to understand that, your animal has to have certain kinds of food to eat to be healthy. And yes, you could give it vegan foods. It probably would do okay as long as you knew how to feed it right. But the best way would be to go ahead and give it what it needs to have now. And then when all things are different and then heaven comes about, they won't have to worry about it anymore.
Right, and I guess, I mean, if you're going with the Bible, for example, Jesus ate fish, and he gave fish to a lot of people. So then you could say that, if the humans can eat fish, then dogs can eat fish. But the dilemma, daughter of God, is that your spouse is a vegan, just bought a dog. Do you buy meat for your dog, or do you buy vegan food based on that? So the decision is between you and your spouse.
Exactly. And they need to be able to understand, how an animal needs to eat if they didn't understand in the first place.
Cool. Thank you. Tim, megaphone is yours.
This just made me think of, I guess it depends on why somebody is a vegan. That might help answer the question of should they give their dog meat. If somebody is a vegan because they, for personal health reasons, of course that shouldn't have any effect. You shouldn't be projecting your health issues on your dog, and so that would not be a good reason to deprive your dog of meat. If you do it for ethical reasons, you believe that no animal should ever be killed for the purpose of food, then I guess to be consistent, of course you would make this decision, but you wouldn't just suddenly find yourself with a dog. Supposedly you've thought this through, and you've said, oh, we're the kind of people that don't think any animal should ever be killed for any reason. And maybe a dog wouldn't be for you. You probably shouldn't be getting a dog if you're of that position, that no animal should ever sacrifice its life as a source of food.
Absolutely.
That's all.
And I guess, I mean, if it's your spouse, you should know by now what she would or he would like. We have JD in the house. Welcome to the social dilemma. We've gone around the table. We've discussed what you want to say. The megaphone is yours if you would like. I see you raised your hand, so feel free to speak. I'm trying to give it to you, but it's not working. Let's go Wheezy Bab. Last person.
I was going to agree with, was it Tim who just spoke? If you're a vegan, I'd call up into question if you're a vegan for the reasons of no other animal should kill any other animal, then you shouldn't have a dog at all. So I'm a biological anthropologist. I know that from history, the domestication of dogs is, to assist humans in hunting. And they became, man's best friend, etc., etc. If you want a dog, and if you are truly, you truly believe in your veganism, then you shouldn't want a dog in the first place, and you certainly shouldn't buy one.
Awesome. Thank you.
In the first place, yeah.
All right. So that's the last
Thank
hand
you for that.
raise. I don't know if anybody else, because I know you've just popped in now, but if you have something to say about this scenario, let us know, or us, because I'll just need 2 minutes. So this is the social dilemma where we've painted two scenarios today. and we've gone around the table, shared our thoughts, ideas. Where you can find this video and you can hear all of your thoughts and ideas is in our Facebook group called VR Digital Citizens, or our Instagram VR Digital Citizens, as you can see in the banner. And feel free to join us so that we can send reminders on the both moral and social dilemma. And thank you all for being here. You can go and explore the Greek Taverna if you want, which is one of the portals to one of our Mediterranean worlds, or the Mati Trader if you're interested in trading and economics. Other than that, I'm unmuting you, and I just want to say thank you very much for your time and for being here, and I will see you next week. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.
And you, Ali, you want to say anything else?
All good. They can go check out the Acropolis. It's really worth a watch.
Yes, go check out the Acropolis at the Greek Taverna. It's in the portal on your top right.